Let's rewind back to a time when Halo was actually Halo. Not saying Halo Infinite isn't Halo, it just doesn't feel finished like one. And I know that's not necessarily the fault of 343, and more so the fault of the pandemic and the Halo community wanting a 3D cybervisor adjusted properly, which I'm about 90% confident in saying that the reason why Halo Infinite is lacking isn't the full fault of 343. It's everyone yelling as loud as they fucking can about small bugs or glitches. I'm about to shave my fucking head and make a Leave 343 Alone video like it's 2008. Anyways, let's talk about some insane shit that came up this past week involving 343's creative lead Joseph Staten, hinting at classic Halo maps coming into Halo Infinite. So how's about a direct quote from Staten himself? And I quote, "I can talk about some things, but I can't talk about others," he began. "There are some great Halo maps. I think we all have our personal favorite. Guardian, Blood Gulch, The Pit. There are a lot of maps that are awesome, right? I think it would be awesome to play on those maps again, don't you guys? That sounds like a fun thing." End quote. Well, goddamn Staten, you got me sweating over here, bro. What this man just said is heavier than the sexual tension between Master Chief and some of the Covenant, and if you know, you know. Speaking of knowing things, I know this is not definitive proof that the maps are gonna come back, or at least not come back all at once, but it's still really fucking cool that Joseph was name dropping these maps and said it almost in a condescending way, you know? I would imagine he said it like, "I think it would be awesome to play on these maps again, don't you guys? That sounds like a fun thing." All I gotta say is, fucking finally. It's been over 6 months since the game released, and people have been asking since the second month of the game's release about the fucking content for Halo and where it's at. Granted, it's not here yet, and it could be another 6 months before we see it, but now we have something to cling on to. What I find shocking is none of this was hinted at or discussed in the 2022 roadmap that 343 released to the public. So far, the only 2 maps that have been added into Infinite so far was Catalyst as an arena map and Breaker for Last Spartan Standing, but judging from this picture, it might actually be a big team battle map in the not so distant future if it already isn't in the map rotation as we speak. And just because I want to throw this in there, Forge Mode is going to be into public beta testing in September. Now with all of this in mind, this is going to be the most productive season for Halo Infinite moving into Season 3 starting on August 1st, and it seems like everyone is taking the proper steps needed into making it more content packed. But in true Redbeard fashion, I want to throw out some suggestions as to what they could also add with the maps when they drop, before even after the maps actually end up dropping. Before I do, I want to mention 2 videos y'all should go check out. This video that me, my brother, and 2 very good YouTube friends and fellow Halo players, T50 and Spartan X Nation, did about Last Spartan Standing and why 343 should keep it in Halo Infinite indefinitely, along with Spartan X Nation's newest video about guns they should bring back into Halo. Both of those videos are going to be in my description and in the pinned comment right below this video. Now with that brought up, let's talk about some things they can bring into Halo Infinite to make this free-to-play AAA title recognized as just another great Halo game. They covered the first point I was going to make by adding new maps. Thank fuck for the new maps. The second point I wanted to bring up was bring back a lot of the old weapons that are infamous with Halo games. These weapons include the M90 shotgun, the DMR, the classic needler, the Magnum, and that old gravity hammer, because this new one we got is a big fucking pile of dog shit. And that's not the full list I have in mind, but that right there would do just fine. The third point, or suggestion if you will, is player progression rank alongside competitive rank and battle pass rank. They don't even have to be fancy with it. Give us a ranking system like Halo Reach or Halo 4 and I'll be happier than a pig in shit. Let's make this fourth and final point super short and super simple. Shoddy Snipes, Infected, Ranked SWAT, and Ranked Fiesta. Enough said. Going back to the classic Halo maps making a possible return to Halo Infinite, Blood Gulch would have to be the map everyone is the most excited for. I know for a fact it's going to be in the Big Team Battles map rotation, and quite possibly the Last Spartan Standing map rotations as well. Guardian and the Pit are more of your Slayer and small objective based maps. Guardian was a favorite of mine for playing Infected because it just fit the environment, while the Pit was my favorite Team SWAT map to play on. I'm very much excited to see what Halo has coming down the pipeline in the next 6 months, and I will be here covering it as news comes out about things related to the Season 3 release of Halo Infinite. Speaking of things coming down the pipeline, I got videos on its way to your YouTube home screen, and the only way to access them is by hitting that sub button, that like button, and clicking that notification bell. I stream and post content all the time right here on YouTube. My name is Redbeard Mortis. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you guys in the next one, but until then, I am fucking out of here.